Hey everybody, I'm Andrew and I am so hype for the return of Stranger Things. But before you binge on Netflix and nostalgia, we've got a guide on everything you need to know about Stranger Things Season 2. I can't believe it's been a whole year since we've been introduced to the fine folks of Hawkins, Indiana, and the mysterious terror of the Upside Down. So, let's refresh our memories with a quick, spoiler-filled Season 1 recap. Back in the 70s, the US government was involved in a classified program called Project MK Ultra.
This is our government. They're on our side.
For years, the CIA conducted secret mind control experiments using torture and all kinds of crazy drugs, especially LSD.
I have conditioned them, or brainwashed them, which I understand is the new American word.
This was actually a real thing, by the way, and probably one of the most fascinating things about this series. In the world of Stranger Things, a pregnant subject named Terry Ives gives birth to a daughter, Jane. The baby was born with psychic powers.
You know, shit you can do with your mind.
So the head of the project, Dr. Brenner, naturally abducts her and covers up her existence. He raised her in a lab where the only name she ever knew was 11. Brenner used her abilities to spy on Russian agents from across the globe, but during one session, 11 encounters a monster we'd later come to know as the Demogorgon. Their connection opened up a gate to an alternate dimension that they call the Upside Down, a ruined version of our world covered with ash and spores. In the chaos, 11 and the monster escape into the woods around Hawkins. On the same night, three boys named Lucas, Dustin, and Will are riding their bikes home after a late-night Dungeons & Dragons sesh at their friend Mike's house. Will runs straight into the Demogorgon, which kidnaps him and takes him into the Upside Down. While searching for him, Will's friends meet 11 in the woods and invite her to stay in Mike's basement. Meanwhile, Will's mother Joyce starts experiencing weird noises and electrical disturbances in her house, which actually turn out to be Will's only way of communicating with his home dimension. Joyce enlists the help of Jim Hopper, an alcoholic cop haunted by the tragic death of his daughter, and arguably the best character in the series. And together, they uncover the truth about Dr. Brenner's experiments. Will's brother Jonathan, Mike's sister Nancy, and a bad boy named Steve become mixed up in the whole mess too after the Demogorgon kills Nancy's friend Barb. Hashtag justice for Barb, hashtag Team Steve. He's a very handsome boy, absolutely. Hopper strikes a deal with Brenner to give up 11's location in exchange for access to the Upside Down. He and Joyce find Will strung up with a tendril jammed down into his esophagus. It's pretty gross and f***ed up, but he's still clinging to life. Meanwhile, Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve lure the monster to the real world and soften it up, for lack of a better term. But it's not enough to save 11. After going ham and crushing the brains of a dozen federal agents, she uses all of her power to destroy the creature, seemingly at the cost of her own life.
11! Ow! Ow, where are you?
With the threat vanquished for now, things in Hawkins return to normal. We see Hopper enter a mysterious car, which means that he might be working with the feds from now on. He also drops off some tasty Eggo waffles in the woods, 11's favorite food. The boys are back together, cracking open a couple cold ones, but Will is secretly still phasing into the Upside Down and coughing up disgusting black slugs.
Whoa, that's not it, is it?
The first season left us with a lot of loose ends and incredibly high expectations for season 2. Like really high, like please don't mess this up. And the Duffer Brothers have a plan to make sure that the second season doesn't suffer from sequel-itis. The brothers are extremely open about their influences.
You read any Stephen King?
And when it comes to crafting a sequel, they're taking from the best, James Cameron. Think about it. The Terminator was basically a slasher movie starring a robot, but T2 Judgment Day redefined the blockbuster action epic. It's the same with Aliens. The first film was a slow-paced cerebral horror movie, but Cameron's sequel, Aliens, was a masterpiece of sci-fi action.
Get away from her, you bitch!
He was able to pivot genres away from low-budget, sparse horror movies into huge action classics. I mean, the man knows how to pivot. That's the approach the Duffers are taking, moving the show in a different, new direction and drastically raising the stakes. I mean, we've gone from one scrawny little monster to a giant Lovecraftian beast that blots out the sky. But luckily, we still have a group of hilarious kids with amazing chemistry to give the story heart and keep things grounded. Not to mention, there will be plenty of great new characters to sink our teeth into. There's Max, the tough new skater girl in town, her stepbrother Billy, who's also going to be a major antagonist. Billy is inspired by Stephen King, who usually includes a human villain that's almost worse than the supernatural monsters running around. He's going to disrupt our heroes' lives the same way Henry Bowers messed up the Losers Club.
I guess you're the first.
And speaking of villains, Paul Reiser is playing a Department of Energy official named Dr. Owens, which probably is a tribute to his classic role as the sleazy corporate baddie Burke in Aliens.
Don't let that fool you, I'm really an okay guy.
And rounding out the new cast with another 80s icon, we've got Goonie star Sean Astin as Bob Newby, the nerdy manager of the Hawkins Radio Shack who's dating Joyce at the beginning of the season. I am so happy that Sam finally got over Frodo.
What about Rosie?
What about Rosie? This is the farthest I've ever stepped from home. Shut the f up. We don't yet know what roles the new additions are going to play. Even with the premiere so close, the second season is thankfully still shrouded in mystery.
Why are you keeping this curiosity door locked?
But we might have an idea of where it's going thanks to my favorite game of all time, Dungeons and Dragons. When the boys play in the first episode of season 1, a Demogorgon defeats Will's character, Will the Wise,
The Demogorgon. It got me.
foreshadowing his abduction by a real-life monster that same night. The season ends with another D&D campaign that drops a bunch of potential clues.
What about the Lost Knight?
And the Proud Princess? And those weird flowers in the cave? I don't know.
Let's run these down.
What is it?
It's the Thesell Hydra, I'm telling you.
It's not the Thesell Hydra.
I'm telling you, it's...
The Thesell Hydra. In season 2 previews, we can see an enormous tentacle creature hanging in a stormy red sky. It's not strictly a D&D Thesell Hydra, but the Demogorgon wasn't 100% accurate either. In some editions of D&D, the Demogorgon is a two-headed baboon creature. It's a real big far cry from the plant bulbous attacking monster that we got in season 1 of Stranger Things. Thanks, Kaya.
You're welcome.
So maybe there's still something we can learn. A Thesell Hydra is a massive beast with 8 snake-like heads surrounding a central toothy maw. The boys seem to think it's only got 7 though. And they end their campaign after Lucas chops them off and jams them in a bag of holding, a classic D&D item that holds a lot of shit, basically. Could this symbolize the boys' false sense of security that the threat is over? Does it represent their childlike naivete that evil can truly be destroyed? Or did they just misread the monster manual? I mean, I've done that. It's not in here. Thesell Hydra's not in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. Maybe Monster Manual 2. I feel dumb for bringing this in. Thesell monsters are also genetically unstable, which explains why there's such a hodgepodge of different creatures. Mix a Hydra and a Chimera and you've got a Thesselmira. Throw in a Gorgon to create a Thesell Gorgon. You get the idea. But what if you mix Will Byers with a nasty slug from the Upside Down? We know they can reproduce by infecting hosts with their larvae, so it's possible that he's slowly mutating into a hybrid of human and, well, whatever the hell lives out there. In D&D lore, the Thesell monsters were created by an evil lich named Thessalar. So it might be an indication that government scientists are trying to splice together a super weapon using monsters from the Upside Down. Are we out on a limb? I don't know. Either way, 11's gonna have to roll a natural 20 to stand a chance against it. Moving on, who could be the Lost Knight? We've got a couple options. 11's already proven her bravery and skill in battle, and when the season ends, she's literally lost in the Upside Down. We know she escapes in season 2, so maybe it refers to Hopper instead. I mean, a beer-swilling cop is kind of a knight, I guess.
What the? All right, let's go.
And while he's not literally lost, between the angst over his dead daughter and his shady connection with the people in the car, it could refer to a more internal struggle. The same goes for the Proud Princess. Again, this could be 11, but she also doesn't really seem the princess type.
Is that my dress?
It's possible that it might be referring to the new mysterious Max. Shit, it could even be Will. I mean, he basically spent the first season as a prime example of the damsel in distress trope. I'd compare him to Princess Peach, but she's way more badass and proactive. What about those weird flowers in the cave? Okay, this one we're a little unsure of. It could be referring to the veiny yellow egg Hopper found in the Upside Down. We still have no clue what it gave birth to or what kind of creatures might even be lurking inside. There's also a shot in the trailer of Dustin holding a bouquet of roses, but that's kind of pushing it. Look, there's still plenty of mysteries left to uncover, and since the Duffer Brothers still have 2 more seasons of Stranger Things planned, we've got plenty of time to figure them out. In the meantime though, bust out your snack packs, polish your D20, grab your favorite minifigure, and prepare yourself for a new Halloween tradition, the return of Stranger Things. Hey everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stranger Things happens to be my favorite Netflix series, and I'm really excited to see what happens in season 2. I want to know what you're expecting or what you want to see in season 2, so write that in the comments. And if you're wondering what the Demogorgon head was for, it might show up in an upcoming episode of something, so subscribe to Now This Nerd, and you might just catch it later, like I will.